The funniest things I know come from viewers who've written me. Dear Jim, every time you come on the TV, the dog starts to bark and whine. And we thought it was so cute, we had the neighbors come over, and now we don't think it's cute anymore. We start watching Channel 6.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see.
Along the Northwest TV landscape, there are few names that are more recognizable than the Boz, a man who created a television legacy spanning 4 decades, a man who did it all just by being himself.
Since I've been 4 years old, I've wanted to toot the horn on a train. You see that? That just sends chills up and down my spine.
There was never a situation where I ever saw him on the air where he was either ill at ease and didn't have, that total capacity to relate to the audience.
You believe that?
No.
When he came into the studio, it seemed like it warmed up and he brought light with him.
He always made me laugh. He was so funny and so spontaneous.
Jim Bosley was born in Great Falls, Montana. After high school, he entered the University of Washington's pre-med program, but ended up taking a little detour.
I thought I'd take a year off and never went back to med school, and television seemed like a likely place to go.
He spent 4 years at KOTI-TV in Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Stand by for K2.
KTU opened up in Portland in March of '62, and I wanted to be the creative director. So I sent a resume up, and out of 360 applicants, I won. And then in 1967, the weatherman on Channel 2, a neat guy named Kirby Brumfield, went on vacation, and the program director said, I know you did weather down in Klamath Falls. Can you sound like you know what you're doing? So I said, oh yeah.
The audience reaction was so great, the Boz jumped from the world of promotion to the world of cold fronts and forecasts.
The big news on 2, in color at 5, with Portland's most knowledgeable news team led by Ted Knight, anchorman, Art Ekman on sports, and Jim Bosley with weather.
He talked about the weather the way you wanted to know about the weather.
He was very sensitive to how people feel weather and how they receive his broadcast at home.
I looked at the weather as something that was serious when it was serious. I gave everybody my best. I'd lay awake nights worried about stuff. All meteorologists do that. They got the best equipment in the world, and they still give you that slight chance of sprinkles just so they're not wrong. I invented that.
In 1975, programming director Chuck Gingold tapped Jim to host another on-air production.
It's time now for AM Northwest with your host, Jim Bosley.
He was so unique, so different than anyone else. What we refer to as a truly big personality.
It was a pleasure meeting you, my friend.
I don't shake hands.
That's all, folks.
And I said, now there's a guy who can do a talk show.
I think he just loved sitting down and talking to people. And he has a great curiosity.
We have had a lot of authors over the years. Jim always read the books. His house, he's got this huge, huge library of books that he has saved over the years. I think he's got his, what he calls his Watergate wall.
It says Julie Nixon Eisenhower. Is that the way you sign your checks?
Yes, it is. Isn't that terrible?
Really?
Yes.
Is that what's on your
What
credit cards? I get up in the morning and you go on the set on AM Northwest and, we have an audience. And there'd be 20 people, 50, 150, 200 people. And you get a standing ovation. Well, how is that at 9 o'clock in the morning to start your day?
In 2000, after 33 years of service to K2 viewers and the community, the Boz retires.
Thank you. You people out there, all of you, have been the words and the music to my song, and I thank you. Bye-bye.
With Jim, what you see is what you get. His personality on the air is his personality off the air.
He's funny, he's sincere, he's irreverent.
Jim is, above all, a gentleman.
He has a magnetic force with people that is just tremendous.
Bosley, really, when you're talking television, he's done it all.
Jim is legendary. There's no question about it.
It's a very heavy word, legend. But I think if it applies to anyone, it would be Jim Bosley.
If viewers are lucky, there'll be somebody that'll come along that will have some of the personality and characteristics of a Jim Bosley. If there won't ever be an exact copy.
Everybody felt like they knew him, and everybody liked him.
I think that, people, think of Portland television, they'll think of Jim Bosley.